already have a team cheer, but it seems to me that they have been building their community for a while. So this is going to be some really exciting stuff. Let's not forget about Panda here. He used to play for Geek Fam in the gold lane, now playing for Team HAQ. Maybe he can find some better chemistry in competitive play now.
Well, I sure do hope so. Panda, will he be the key to victory that Team HAQ have been looking for? Now with the draft officially beginning, we can see that Team HAQ is going to be drafting on the blue side, SUHAZ Esports drafting on the red side. The first ban already out, it is going to be the Natalia.
Okay, expected to be seen. It looks like, Team HAQ has done their research when they were fighting up against SUHAZ Esports. Vinsmoke in particular has been quite a menace when it comes to just assassin-style supports. Natalia in particular being one of his top picks. SUHAZ Esports going to respond by banning out the Fanny.
Yeah, but when we're talking about assassin roamers, especially with the Natalia here, I feel like more emphasis has to be given to Min. This is a hero he's really comfortable with, well known for being a very big nuisance for. Considering that they are on the first side, banning this out indicates that Min might want to lean away from this choice here in Game 1.
Here's the problem I have. I think that's a great observation, but my problem is the fact that Vinsmoke has only played Saber throughout his games against Todak. So we don't know how deep his pockets really go, but we know for a fact that Min can play Franco. So I think he's in the clear. He can play Franco, he can play Atlas, all the traditional tanks you would expect.
Well, Tamas going to be the next ban from Team HAQ. As you mentioned, Min, a very flexible roamer, and we've already seen just how many pocket picks he has in his hero pool. On the opposite side, we really haven't gotten the chance to see much of Vinsmoke yet, only having played Saber so far to differing degrees of success. It is very good at picking off a single individual member of the opposite team, but lacks utility in terms of the overall game.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though that banning out Thamos this early on, I would have expected to see a Thamos ban maybe within the second phase more like it, especially if there are bigger focuses elsewhere. Pharma is going to be the follow-up ban coming up from SUHAZ Esports, so it feels like Team HAQ have an idea in mind and maybe to give a better matchup for Lola in particular.
That is true, and with Tamas being banned out here, it might indicate maybe Lola is not that comfortable playing on the Tamas here. That could be a potential choice, considering that Tamas is a hero that is worth first picking nowadays. But the Akai going to be the final ban from Team HAQ, followed up by Wan from SUHAZ. Two very notable heroes have been let through here, the Julian and the Valentina.
Yeah, I think Oxygen is definitely good. Ooh, actually, I don't know. I feel like Valentina is good, but Julian, Gary might want to get his hands on it. The same goes for Mon, but well, hovering over Argus isn't going to give us too much information here. Unless they lock it in, I can really respect that. But again, I think Valentina is too valuable to give up here.
I personally am thinking that Julian might be a little bit better, but it does still come down to the players here. Yes, Valentina is very effective in limiting the draft and making it difficult for you to pick up heroes with big ultimates, but I think Julian just overall has better utility and damage.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, let's see this game, because I'm fairly confident Oxygen is going to be like, alright, is Julian time, baby? Give it to me. Come on, boys. You saw what I did yesterday. I can do it again.
Will they give the Julian? I mean, at this point, there is no reason not to take the Julian here. The question is what other hero they would want to go for. Eve so far has been a hero that has been contested fairly much, but I don't really like it, especially with the Valentina on the opposite side here. And we know that Oxygen is most likely going to play the Julian instead of Razin. So, that's a good point. What could this be?
We could expect to see, I don't know. It's hard to say. They might show us some new stuff, they might not. Okay, so Julian gets locked in, but Esmeralda is going to be the pick this time. Last time, we did see that Saber gets picked up relatively early within at least the first phase for the side of SUHAZ Esports. The fact that they're going with Esmeralda now, I hope we get to see more of what Vinsmoke is capable of in terms of hero pool.
Yep, I hope so as well, and I think even if they do decide to go for Saber again here, not picking it in the first phase makes a lot of sense. They want to make sure that it's not easily countered, and they already saw what happened when they revealed it too early up against Todak. Now, Team HAQ will have a choice to make. Valentina most likely is going to be going mid, but I could see an argument for it going in the EXP or even the gold lane, considering that Panda is known for playing a lot of different heroes. But no, they're actually just gonna show a bunch of their cores at once. Beatrix and Ling gonna be picked up by Team HAQ.
That's what you want to see. Gary gets to play his assassins. Panda is going to get a comfort in Beatrix. I think this is going relatively well for them so far. Let's see what SUHAZ Esports wants to respond with this. Again, we haven't seen Yves get picked up by either side because, again, we are seeing the Valentina and Julian, but it's surprising to me, you know? I would expect somebody to eventually pick it up. This time, I think SUHAZ might be leading maybe towards either... They can hold off on the jungler, I feel. They're most likely going to go for the gold laner here, right? They're going to just mirror them.
They still go for the Saber roam at this point. We've seen them pick it to counter Ling in the past. But
Okay.
Wait. They have locked in Cecilion.
All right.
So this is Jungle Julian?
Jungle Julian, most likely. Or, I mean, Esmeralda's already in, so not going to be EXP. But I think, I mean, what are the odds we are going to see support Julian?
I don't really like it.
Right? Because there's been so many different nerfs to Julian at this stage, and this current patch that we're playing in. Is he still going to be as effective as before? I doubt so, but I wouldn't put it past it.
I mean, just as effective as before, no, but effective. Yes, we've already seen plenty of how just strong Julian as a hero is overall. His damage and utility is still top tier despite all the nerfs. But the second phase of bans now ongoing. Daroff has been banned out by SUHAZ Esports, which does make a lot of sense. Again, a hero that counteracts Esmeralda very effectively in that EXP lane.
Followed up by Brody for the side of Team HAQ here. They're just limiting the matchups for the gold lane. Now, Rexman, he's got to think about this for a quick second, because I think right now they're currently missing... they still need a gold laner of their own. They can still play Clint. Moba and Koopa is also up for grabs. I think Team HAQ don't mind if it's going to be Clint, because at least Link can run him down. Popo and Koopa might be a little tougher, but we'll see. We'll see where this leads.
I personally would like Popo and Koopa the most out of SUHAZ Esports here, because Beatrix is a hero that will just be oppressive to basically any marksman in the game. Popo and Koopa is basically the only hero that actually has a somewhat favorable matchup there. So if SUHAZ wants to make sure that their gold lane is in a good spot, they would want to pick it up for themselves. I'm actually kind of surprised they would ban out the Franco, because I actually feel like they're in a pretty okay spot to pick it up themselves.
Yeah, I thought they were in an okay spot to pick it up for themselves too, but okay. I think it's fine. At the end of the day, they just don't want Min to have something that gains access and to slow down the jungle, especially if you are Julian, where your clear isn't the fastest in the world to begin with, right? So now we come back over to Team HAQ. They've been banning out gold laners. They're getting rid. They got rid of Brody. Do they want to continue on with this trend?
I feel like if they're going to ban Brody, they may as well ban Popo and Koopa, because I just don't see why you would ban Brody and then go for a different position, but that is actually what they end up doing, which is very strange to me, because I don't feel like the Paquito is going to be picked up anyway, right? The EXP and jungle roles on SUHAZ are already taken. Hard
to say. Honestly, I think it's a little hard to say here. I guess Team HAQ wants to just limit the opportunity of if this Julian decides it wants to go somewhere else other than the jungle, right? I guess that's the biggest. The biggest thing, a narrowing factor, right? So now SUHAZ Esports, on the other hand, they're going to get the first pick of the second phase. They could look to keep a big question mark over the Julian, or they can kind of predetermine where he's going to go to find for their last pick. And it looks like, yes, Clint gets picked up by SUHAZ Esports.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Grabbing the Clint here does kind of confirm that they're actually keeping this Julian in more of a mysterious position, which leads me to think, like, can Vinsmoke play roam Julian? Is that a thing?
I mean, I've heard about it. We didn't get to see it too often during MSC, and more importantly so, I think that even in pubs, people have been testing, you know, Julian when he first came out. He can kind of do everything. You can put him in any position, and he feels kind of good no matter what. But now that he's been nerfed, different story. I guess that's part of the perks of being a hero with so much utility, right? Having damage, CC, and escape all in one package. Team HAQ gonna complete up their draft with Lolita, which makes sense. And Nana
appearing for the second time here at MPL Season 10.
Very interesting. So... Oh, man.
That's weird.
Oh, man, that's so weird.
The thing is, for those of us who play a lot of pubs in ML, Nana is like a bane to our existence. That morph is so annoying, and the ultimate is actually a lot more effective than you would think. But you never expect pro players to really pick it up here. So I'm wondering what the plan is with this Nana. How do they want to combo around this?
I think they just want her wave clear and just arguably her disengage, right? I think Valentina has the opportunity to actually move herself into the EXP lane if wanted to, right? So it looks like Lola is going to be switching over. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to be Valentina in the EXP lane. If we look back over to SUHAZ Esports, it's going to be a Julian jungle. All right. I think, okay, this all worked out in the end. It all worked out in the end. It's interesting composition coming in from Team HAQ, and I'm excited to see because I feel like SUHAZ Esports, very straightforward draft.
Okay, I think I see what Team HAQ is going for here. We already know about the Min-Man synergy combo. They have Lolita, they have Nana. This is just the ultimate early game gank duo. So much CC, so much control. Nana is being picked up in lieu of a hero similar to, let's say, Eudora, except with more utility in the form of her passive that allows her to escape if she gets caught out. So Team HAQ wants to snowball off of this early game, roaming around with Min-Man and the Ling. And on the opposite side, we can see SUHAZ Esports will have a lot of scaling, lots of damage for themselves, but they need to hit that late game. You can hear the cheers here in the hall. The fans are excited. So get excited, ladies and gentlemen. The Land of Dawn beckons once more.
Yep, let's jump right on into it. It's going to be a best of 3 here between Team HAQ and SUHAZ Esports. They're going to need every point they get. And SUHAZ Esports, they don't want to end the week 0-2. They gotta step things up. They gotta show what they have. And Gary, he's gonna be able. Ooh, Vinsmoke might force him to actually go for the retribution. Yes, he does. That's what you want to see.
Yep, that's already a success from Vinsmoke there. Being able to force out the retribution on the very first buff of the game means that Gary cannot contest the Little Wonder. We can already see Razin there going to be able to secure it without too much problem.
Yep, and Man, he's just going to focus on wave clearing. He wants to minimize. He doesn't want to get hit by the back impact, and he should be able to do this pretty safely for now. But more importantly, he has some form of control in the mid lane. If Sicilian wants to move out of there, Man is going to know.
Yep, that is the effectiveness of the Molina there, being able to not only morph people, but also scout out areas for the rest of the team. We can see here, Min already checking to see whether or not SUHAZ are taking that purple buff, but that is a 2v3 situation. He'll choose not to go for it. Almost steals it with a flame shot, but nope, Razin gets it.
Yep, very smartly done. Gary, he sees the interaction, he sees where a majority of the members, he confirms that Julian is still there, makes his way on out, but he is a level down. Razin is making sure that he's staying ahead of the curve.
Yep, so we can look at the emblems overall. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Everyone's going for emblems that are pretty typical for their heroes overall. So I don't think there's too much for us to talk about here. What we do need to talk about is the fact that the turtle is going to be coming up and SUHAZ have control over the bottom lane.
Yeah, but Lola, he gets knocked up, and unfortunately a Falling Star Moon is going to connect. And there we go. Lola tries to turn things around with the Unstoppable Force. Flickers on out of there as Siti Nosana needs to make a choice. But now it's going to be Min left all by himself. Forcing that flicker out too is going to mean that SUHAZ Esports will easily take this first turtle.
I think I didn't really notice until now, but this is actually an EXP lane Valentina. So Lola wants to get as high level as possible against Siti Nosana, but they do end up losing on that turtle. Looks like Gary actually chose to give it up in lieu of invading the enemy jungle instead.
Oh, a good combination with Vinsmoke and Oxygen, forcing Gary out of there. He manages to get the steal regardless in his Tempest of Blades. Ooh, that could have been bad for him.
Yep, but then the response from Ryzen, he's going for the enemy jungle now, but really good rotations from Team HAQ, gonna make sure that the Julian cannot try anything too tricky here. Right now, Team HAQ playing a pretty solid early game, but SUHAZ are actually the ones with the slight gold lead.
Yep, they're going to be holding on. This river has been guarded fairly well by Team HAQ and as well as SUHAZ Esports, none of which have really pressed too deep into the into each of the opponent's sides of the map, but I think the next interaction here will be happening in 65 seconds. When that turtle comes up, I think Team HAQ probably isn't going to let that go as easily unless they don't have their battle spells.
We can see here that Lola does seem to be prioritizing stealing that wild charge, which does make sense. It's basically the best ultimate he can steal from the side of SUHAZ Esports, so he's going to be playing more for it as an engager. What I'm wondering is whether or not this will shift the way that he wants to go for his item build. Will he still go full magic? Or will he want to build a little bit of tankiness so he can use that wild charge?
Oh, the call in with the Numenon Blast finds Ryzen, but Vinsmoke, he is able to protect himself from the CC. But again, nothing really happens here. They just disengaged. Plans have been found out. SUHAZ back away, and teamhaq unable to punish them further.
I'm actually kind of surprised at how passive this game has been so far. From SUHAZ, we're already expecting that they're not going to be quite as aggressive with the exception of Vinsmoke and Razin. But I was expecting teamhaq to go for much more aggressive engagements.
Yeah, here we go. Gary looking for the first blow. Oh, the Vinsmoke finds it. Able to get the Blade of Tempest, right? But Abumon quickly flickers on out of there, but he's still going to get chased down. Ryzen able to turn things. He finds one, finds a second as well. Double kill coming out of Ryzen. And now teamhaq forced to back away.
That was not really worth it for teamhaq. They lose both Min and Gary, which means that the turtle might go to SUHAZ, but they do find a kill on City Norsana. Ryzen doesn't get the turtle. It goes to Panda. He gets picked off. Killing spree to the Julian. And now Lola is in a bit of danger. Wants to try and chase them away. Uses the flicker to get out. And Man picks up the kill on Vinsmoke.
Finally, a profit. teamhaq able to start the engagement off with a pick of their own. Gets punished, but now wait. Can they get a little bit more here? Nope. Min unable to flicker any more forward than this. Numenon Blast not going to connect.
Ooh, just a lot of action all of a sudden. The game was so passive right before that, and then instantly a massive team fight. And the fact that Panda was actually able to secure that turtle there means that the net worth lead shall now go in the favor of teamhaq. That should not have happened, really. SUHAZ Esports were the one that had the retribution.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, Razin did actually use his retribution significantly early in that initial fight, so he didn't actually have it when he was trying to secure that turtle, and that's why Panda was able to steal it away just in time. But now, top side, just a lot of bodies here, a lot of traffic happening on the top side of the map, with Min making sure he controls this side of the bush, and Vinsmoke face checking, making sure that he protects his team. He doesn't want to go back in there again, right? Is he going to make a chance to go in?
Either way, though, it does look like a lot of attention is going to be given to the top side of the map right now. Panda and Abumon both have the highest goal ranking, basically even, and these marksmen are going to be quite important once the mid-game comes around to secure more objectives and advantages against their opponent. teamhaq, though, overall has a 1k net worth lead, but that's not much to be said for it. It still can go either way.
Yeah, the passive play once again from both sides. I guess they don't really want to lose too much in these engagements, right? Because you can see that both teamhaq and SUHAZ Esports are focusing on a lot of trade killing, right? They're not going to, you know, cut their losses and, oh, we got picked off, that's fine, let's back away. No, they look to try and get these trades down. They want to make sure they minimize the gold loss as much as they can without playing the rest of the map. Numenon Blast 5 on 2. Lola gets the wild charge into himself, a clean combination. Vinsmoke manages to flicker on out of there. That's the Falling Star Moon used by CT Norsana, but the damage has been done. That's going to be Turtle falling into the hands of teamhaq.
Beautifully orchestrated by the players of teamhaq right there, being able to pick off the members of SUHAZ Esports. That was a beautiful use of the wild charge from Lola after Numenon Blast, securing 2 free kills and a turtle, since SUHAZ would not be able to re-engage. And instantly, their net worth lead has increased to 3.5k. Gary already completing his Berserker's Fury, most of their cores getting their second items.
Yep, and right now CT Norsana is just struggling, right? Lola is continuing to oppress him, and now that he's a level up on him, he gets a significant amount of spell vamp as well. Oh wait, hold on. This might be the catch that they were looking for. Lola already using the wild charge, terrifying Vinsmoke. It doesn't matter because Ryzen is the majority of the damage. Gets that good pick off that they've been looking for, but teamhaq respond by trying to take this mid turret.
Gary gonna be able to finish it off as the Numenon Blast Flicker secures it onto Oxygen. A kill going over the Team HAQ. And now they see that Julian and Clint going on their tower. They will be able to take down the tier 1. But here comes Min and Man. Will they be able to catch them out? Abumon flickers away, leaving Razin for dead as the Panda flickers ahead with the shotgun, but ends up biting off more than he can chew and falling in return.
Nicely done by Razin. He took the damage. Unfortunately, he ended up dying, but he managed to get the enhanced chains off, which ended up killing Panda, who needed to get close to make sure that Wesker was effective. Now, the rest of the members looking for another dive onto Abumon. Numenon Blast coming through. Vinsmoke is here to protect, but it's too late. The Tempest of Blades popped early by Gary, dodging the CC, and now they finally get the kill that they were looking for. They back away.
Very well timed Tempest of Blades there, just dodging the wild charge. I don't even think Gary did that intentionally. Vinsmoke's timing was just a little bit unlucky. But with Abumon down for the next 5 seconds and the Lord coming up, this could be a chance for Team HAQ to go for this objective if they're able to find one more pickoff.
Yep. Oh, Lola is going to be starting things off onto Lord's side. Min taunts his opponents to try to see how much information he can actually get in space that he can take, as SUHAZ Esports knows that it's going to be a little hard to actually contest them. A lot of the times, they just get wombo combo to the ground, so even SUHAZ Esports, knowing that they have valuable ults, must be careful of Lola.
What Team HAQ does know is that the Esmeralda is down in bottom lane, and Gary will rotate a lot quicker, so they could go for a 4v5 team fight here. But now that they no longer have vision over City Norsana, it becomes a lot more difficult. And with the Esmeralda constantly buying time, it makes it difficult for Team HAQ to go for a full 5v5 engagement.
Yep. See whether or not that 5v5 engagement is going to happen around Lord's side, because Team HAQ has been sitting around this Lord for a very long time, and I think they're just setting up because Gary can rotate fast, so he's going to set up a wave down bot side, clear that up, manage those waves, and now they begin to start their work onto the Lord, chipping away at it.
Yeah, the Lord going to be playing a game of resets here as City Norsana continuing to do a very good job of just cutting the waves. We can see Gary is coming in from the back line. Team HAQ, they want to make an engagement here. Min gonna go for the concealed play. Gets caught out by Sanguine Claws though, so he doesn't get the stun he needs. Team HAQ now shift their priorities over to the Lord. Will they be able to get it before SUHAZ can respond?
Oops, let's see. SUHAZ now responding here, and yes, they do get it, but Min flickers out of there before he gets caught. Vinsmoke finds two. He ends up dying in his wild charge. City Norsana comes in with a falling star move, but again, that's just way too much damage coming out of Panda's Wesker. He does not care. Switches back over to Nibiru, and that is the end of that story. 11-5 with a 5K goal lead. Team HAQ pull ahead.
That was clear hesitation from SUHAZ Esports until the very last minute. They weren't sure if they wanted the full commit or not. And when it finally went for the concealed play, Vinsmoke extended just a bit too far with that wild charge, putting himself out of position and allowing Team HAQ to pick up 2 easy kills and the first Lord of the game.
Yeah, but just look at the way Team HAQ is playing this right now. They're playing off of Panda and as well as Lola. Both of them. Lola looking for these big engages every time she steals the wild charge. And not to forget that Panda's damage honestly is really significant at this stage of the game. Like, Panda has been able to get a good amount of assists and kills.
We asked our AI for its winning prediction as well, and it seems overwhelmingly in favor of Team HAQ, who now has a near 8k net worth lead 12 minutes into the game. The next thing they're going to target are the inhibitors. They're able to clear up the mid wave, but the Lord is now crashing up top.
Yep, if they can get an inhibitor here, that's already a big win. You notice that, oh, they can't really get into this. They get hit by the polymorph, and they find Vinsmoke. Razin, he's in trouble. The Numenon Blast takes him out. City Norsana under fire and is overwhelmed and is forced to move back. Panda healing back up with the Haas's Claw, and this is great for him because he can continue the siege down towards that bottom side. They've already got 2 inhibitors. Let's make it a third.
Excellent discipline from Team HAQ, backing off, not going for the kill count here. They want to get this final inhibitor, and they pick it up easily, instantly backing off from the base, not going for more than they feel they can take.
They finally breathe. 1 minute until the next Lord. Let's look at the item list and look at how big Panda is right now. 4 complete items here. And even Gary himself, he's barely seen these team fights very often, but he has been picking up these kills like nobody's business to get almost full build. He's 1 item off.
Yep, the same can be said for Lola. Team HAQ are in a very comfortable position now, and they've hit that 10k net worth gap. We can see from that last Lord push as well, the amount of gold EXP earned just from that one singular push by, again, the first Lord of the game. And you can tell just how commanding the lead Team HAQ has is.
Yep, 7,000 gold earned. 40,000 in terms of tower damage. This is a brutal lead indeed, and SUHAZ Esports falling significantly behind. It's just, there's nothing they can really do about this unless they get a potential pick off of Panda. Maybe there's an opportunity, but even then, chances are Abumon does not have enough damage to get through Min specifically.
Wild charge onto Min as the response from Lola instantly, but that's a lot of damage in the backline. Gary gonna get shut down by the Julian. He might have underestimated their DPS there, and that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade.
Lord is now being done by Team HAQ, and SUHAZ, I don't know. It's tough. They could look to contest this, don't get me wrong. Resin does have 12 more seconds until the retribution. They need to take space. If they could get another pick, that would be the most ideal situation. But even now, if they're going to go for this 50-50, it's a risky 50-50.
Yeah, with Gary still down for 5 seconds, Team HAQ wants to reset this, but they're doing a good job of just pressuring SUHAZ, not allowing them to engage onto the Lord, which means that Gary should be able to come back quite soon. Oxygen already getting a very early immortality as well. He recognizes that he needs to survive these skirmishes.
Here we go. Let's see as this skirmish is about to begin. Yeah, they're going to be sending around. Vinsmoke tries, but he gets terrified right before he makes it happen. It's too late. The engagement has failed, and Team HAQ finally have the last piece of the puzzle to look to close this game out.
That's going to be a pretty big Lord take from Team HAQ, with SUHAZ Esports' base completely barren, no inhibitors to speak of. This is going to be a difficult defense. Luckily, based on the timing, Vinsmoke should be back to be able to assist, but will it be enough?
The waves are getting synchronized by Team HAQ as now the final blow is about to commence. SUHAZ Esports, they've hit the 42k mark, but Team HAQ are just too far ahead here. They have to wait for Team HAQ to make it this league. Oh my god, no. I think they're going to go for it. There we go. Now they're looking for this slight engagement. They're trying to slow down this Lord. Oxy doing his best with the bad impact, but Sinjin Asana comes in with the falling star mode. He survives, manages to hold on for a little bit longer. Oxygen, he's got damage, but they push them back. It's going to be Raisin who falls down first. Abumon is trying his best, but Oxygen needs mana. Min might be the next to fall to the bad impact. Panda's trying his best, but the range is too far. Oxygen sits under the crystal, the last hope to hold on. They have to clear these waves. It's 2-for-1 trade. They find Panda as well. Oxygen succeeds.
By the skin of their teeth, SUHAZ Esports will be able to defend their crystal against a desperate push by Team HAQ, and it does look like their DPSs are starting to scale up. Both Oxygen and Abumon doing so much work in that last engagement to slowly pick off members of Team HAQ who do not realize Cecilion and Clint are heroes that have such long range that you're not even aware that you're within kill shot.
Oh, I mean, it just feels bad, right? I mean, what can you do? Panda wants to be able to snipe somebody out. When you have Wesker, you're a little too close for comfort, but Oxygen, he has scaled, and I think this defense has brought back SUHAZ from a losing situation to now a potential turnaround here. And here we go. Oh, 50% of Gary's HP is gone. The Wild Charge connects onto Min. He goes down straight away, and even Clint has damage now. So this is becoming a problem for Team HAQ. It looks like they've just been outscaled, and it's important to play around these big ultimates.
This is not so good here for Team HAQ. We're seeing negative value on that last Lord push, and now SUHAZ want to go for more. A beautiful wall, but Panda reverts it, getting the kill onto Vinsmoke, forced to flicker out of Sanguine Claws. Here comes Gary to make sure to zone them out, but he just stays for a bit too long and gets picked off by SUHAZ Esports.
Oh, that was huge. A huge play. And now SUHAZ are back in it to win it. Coming down from a 8k lead from Team HAQ all the way down to 3k. SUHAZ just has to play the macro game. It's unfortunate they're playing at a disadvantage because they don't have inhibitors, but other than that, SUHAZ can now win team fights.
They absolutely can. Their damage has finally started to kick in, and this could be pretty dangerous for Team HAQ. The Lord now going to be contested. This is 18 minutes in. This is a dangerous Lord to give on over. Here they come. Min gets the stun, but Razin will secure it. We might be seeing a potential comeback here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's see how far this comeback is going to be for Team SUHAZ Esports. Oh, they continue to press up forward, and now we're back to the stalemate position that we saw literally like 8 minutes ago.
We have just seen a 10k net worth lead reduced to 1k, and in terms of items done, basically all the cores on both teams have already achieved full build. Considering what we've been seeing today, it's starting to seem like a 10k net worth difference may not necessarily be a death sentence.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right here, and I think, you know, SUHAZ Esports held out long enough to make it count. Immortality as well as an Ice Queen's Wand, the final few items coming in from SUHAZ Esports. They're going to be on equal footing against Team HAQ, and that's what you want to see, an all-out brawl as SUHAZ take control over the bottom side of the map, and this Luminous Lord should easily crash through this tier 2, and now the rest of THQ must respond to it.
Oh, but look at Gary. He's cutting the waves himself right in their base, basically making it so that SUHAZ Esports will not be able to get any more towers, especially in the important mid lane. Team HAQ going to end up losing all their towers in the top and bottom side, and the net worth has actually now skewed towards SUHAZ.
Yep. Wally's actually doing a good amount of damage. Wait, hold on. Wait, no, the Numenon Blast, it's coming through. He's trying to flip it, but it gets canceled by the Enhanced Chains. Panda manages to flick around just in time to blow up Abumon. And now they're on the run. They trade a 1-for-1. Gary tried his best to go for the sniper. Isn't still alive, but now with a 1-for-1 trade, a jungler for a gold laner. Do they want to press their advantage? I don't think so. I feel like Team HAQ are pretty okay with just taking the purple buff and just chilling for 60 seconds around the Lord.
This is just intense right now. I don't think we were expecting this at all. Abumon, unfortunately, out of position in that last fight, but Gary is now finding it very difficult to dive into the backline for SUHAZ as well. And we have to give props to Razin. That was a beautifully placed Enhanced Chain, recognizing the risk of a Numenon Blast, putting it right behind him to catch out Min. Otherwise, that could have been much more disastrous for SUHAZ.
It could have been way more disastrous for SUHAZ, but that was just well played. Some really good calls, and Razin making a good save for the team. Now, 20 seconds. This is the big one. This is the make it or break it here, because if Lord falls into the hands for SUHAZ Esports, they're almost guaranteed a way to crack open an inhibitor. If Team HAQ gets it, I think SUHAZ Esports is going to bow out for game number 1.
This final Lord, hopefully, is the final Lord here for both these teams, because fatigue is going to be a matter of fact. This is only the first game of the series. Whichever team is able to win this fight and claim this objective will have a very good chance of coming out on top. And we can see that I believe Gary did just go for his final item, a BOD, at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he wants to execute these low targets. He's going to help clear up topside, but he cannot kill Siti Norsana, so he's just going to focus on the minions. The rest of his team is going to be hovering around the Lord pit here, knowing that the waves will naturally push if they just leave it to its own devices.
This is risky. This is tense for both these teams. It is a very, very sensitive waltz between both sides right now. Bloodwings now picked up on Oxygen. He knows he needs that survivability. He's got more than enough damage. He just needs to find the right target.
Let's see how that's going to go as the proxies from both sides are coming through, and I think Gary just slipped on through. They will, I'm guessing the wave is most likely going to see him at some point, but if we look back, on the Tribrush side, we do see that Oxygen is getting some good damage onto Min. He doesn't really feel anything, and I think he's scaled now and built in to Magic Resist, but again, this back and forth, we're not really seeing the full commitment from either side just yet.
We did see that Team HAQ tried to turn around on the Esmeralda when they saw Siti Norsana alone behind them, but he was able to get out without too much issue. Now, all 5 members of Team HAQ are on top of the Lord. They know that Siti Norsana is not nearby. This could be a 4v5 situation.
Panda's chunking it down. They're waiting for it. When's the call going to be made? Smoke, he's right out in the open. Let's see this 50-50 as they start moving on in. The conceal play happens. At THQ, they're just juggling the aggro of it. They're waiting it out. This is smart. Citino Sana gets spotted out into the brush. The rotations have happened. And here comes the lockdown. Knocking two, finding two more in the wall. Nana survives, but Gary's going to try his best to take out Abumon as he tries and runs away. The damage has been done. And now SUHAZ Esports have control over this Lord Pin. Fortunately, Team HAQ can't let it fall into their hands. Lola dancing around them. Panda looking for some snipes, and even SUHAZ Esports just trying not to give this over.
We can see that Gary decided not to teleport back to his base after all, and that's not the best situation. He doesn't have purple. He needs to kill jungle creeps to heal back his HP, and both teams are still playing very precariously around this. Vinsmoke gets a nice stun. They find Panda. Immortality pop down. Gary comes in, picks up one. Immortality pop. They find Razin. Gary alive. Panda alive. Citino Sana will be able to pick up that final kill, but guess what? Lola's in the back line. He's on top of Oxygen, and guess what? Gary's
running for it!
Pushing! Gary's in the back line! The minion wave is approaching, but Citino Sana is back. Gary has no HP. He can't go for this, but guess what? They found Oxygen! Oh! Winter Trunking keeps him alive. Oh! He gets the trade!
He gets the trade right at the very end. A monster kill coming out of Mana. 4-for-2 trade, and now with 3 members alive, Team HAQ are looking to end this. Mon can clear that wave, and Gary can help him out.
Citino Sana going to be the lone survivor. Will he defend 1v3? Jumps in, 3-man falling Star Moon, but it's not going to be enough right into the Doomman on blast. Immortality popped down. Gary on top of the crystal. Winter Trunkian keeps him alive, but not the crystal. Team HAQ will finally end this game 1 of the series.
Woo!